Tower controlling.
Expect an EBAP, CW. PC less than 50.
There are many inventions and discoveries that have harmed our planet and humanity. However, none of them, including the atomic bomb, come close to the damage caused by the person we are about to discuss. This person, Thomas Migley, is responsible for the deaths of more people than those who died in the First and Second World Wars combined. In the early 20th century, the quality of gasoline used as car fuel was quite low. There were knocking noises coming from the engines of cars. In 1916, Charles Kettering asked one of his employees, 27-year-old Thomas Migley, to find a gasoline additive that would make car engines run more smoothly. Migley began testing hundreds of different substances and eventually discovered that ethanol eliminated the knocking noises from the engine. Both Migley and Kettering worked for General Motors, and there was intense competition with Ford. The use of ethanol could have given General Motors a significant advantage, but there were some issues. Therefore, Migley was sent back to the lab to find a solution that would eliminate the knocking noises and make cars run faster.
Gives more power on the road. Because the higher the octane number, the better the gasoline, the less likelihood of knock. Now this has about the same effect on the piston as, well, this fellow has on his piano by trying to move it with a kick.
Migley had found the solution in a short time: tetraethyl lead. Migley found that when added to gasoline, tetraethyl lead eliminated the knocking noises from the engine. In 1923, the first leaded gasoline was put on sale. In car races, those using leaded gasoline began to win first place consistently. The use of leaded gasoline became increasingly widespread. However, looking at the advertisements of the time, there was no mention of the lead in the gasoline. Ethyl and General Motors, along with Standard Oil, had collaborated to produce and sell leaded gasoline.
And that's why ethyl gasoline brings out the full power and performance of your car. So next time you buy gasoline, drive up to the pump with the ethyl emblem and say, "Fill her up."
There's a difference, a powerful difference, gasoline.
Ethyl eventually opened a chemical plant. However, shortly after it opened, most of the workers became ill due to lead poisoning. Some of them died. Leaded gasoline was used so widely that Migley had to hold a press conference to address the public's concerns about the problems that had arisen. During the press conference, Migley poured leaded gasoline onto his hands and sniffed it for a long time to demonstrate how safe tetraethyl lead was. In reality, he had been suffering from lead poisoning for a year before the press conference. However, he had stayed away from the company for a while to avoid notifying the press. A very similar press conference also took place in Turkey. After the Chernobyl disaster, to show that tea in Turkey was safe and not affected by radiation, the minister of the time drank cup after cup of tea in front of the cameras. 5 years after the incident, there was an incredible increase in cancer cases in the Black Sea region. Migley's damage to the planet and humanity continued unabated with his new inventions. Refrigerators became increasingly popular in the 1920s. The refrigerators produced by General Motors leaked harmful refrigerants such as sulfur dioxide, which is harmful to the eyes and skin, and methyl formate, which is highly toxic and flammable when inhaled. Migley went back to the laboratory. He had found another solution, a non-flammable and non-toxic refrigerant. He had produced the initial form of the gas now known as chlorofluorocarbons, which caused significant damage to the ozone layer. To convince scientists, Migley inhaled the gas and then blew it onto a candle, extinguishing the flame to demonstrate that the gas was both harmless and non-flammable. In the following years, chlorofluorocarbons began to be used not only in refrigerants but also in many industrial products. Due to these gases, a huge hole was created in the ozone layer, which protects people from the sun's radiation and cancer-causing ultraviolet rays. Due to Migley's leaded gasoline, the average lead levels in the bones of modern humans are 625 times higher compared to those living in the 1400s. The World Health Organization estimates that in developing countries, 15 to 18 million children, or 90%, suffer from permanent brain damage due to lead poisoning attributed to leaded gasoline. Exposure to lead not only delays learning but also reduces intelligence. Studies even suggest that children exposed to lead are more likely to engage in criminal behavior. Due to its effects on blood vessels, lead causes hundreds of thousands of people to die from heart attacks. Isn't it incredible that today approximately 100 million deaths worldwide can be traced back to the addition of lead to gasoline to reduce engine noise? But despite the unfavorable outcome, Migley didn't want to do anything bad. So what did he want to do? What does Migley's life tell us about the necessity of sustainable development or growth? The Earth is estimated to be about 4.5 billion years old. Modern humans have been on Earth for only about 200,000 years. Even this brief existence in comparison to the Earth's age is enough for us to profoundly impact life on the planet. In the past 50 years, people have been breaking records in carbon dioxide emissions, ocean acidification, and the consumption of natural resources. Especially in developed and developing countries, the increase in energy demand is significantly escalating the damage to the planet. This period is referred to as the Great Acceleration. Like Migley's inventions, human impacts that disrupt the ecological balance of our planet are clearly observable. For this reason, some scientists refer to the current geological period as the Anthropocene, or Age of Humans. The concept of the Anthropocene, coined and popularized in 2000 by biologist Eugene Stormer and chemist Paul Crutzen, is derived from the Greek words anthropo, meaning human, and scene, meaning new. Eras through which the Earth has passed are classified based on the Earth's rock layers or the fossils found within them. Scientists who study these layers and fossils determine the names of the eras based on the characteristics of the evidence they obtain. This process is called stratigraphy. Officially, the current era, which began 11,700 years ago after the last major ice age, is called the Holocene epoch. However, the Anthropocene epoch is a geological time unit used to define the most recent period in Earth's history, during which human activities have significantly impacted the planet's climate and ecosystems. The Geological Society has not yet officially accepted the term Anthropocene. While some scientists acknowledge that the impact humans have left on the planet is profound, they believe there is not enough evidence to classify it as a new epoch. The first question that the Geological Society, which has the authority to officially name Earth's epochs, must answer before declaring the Anthropocene as an official epoch is whether humans have altered the Earth's system enough for these changes to be reflected in the rock layers. This is because to name any epoch, there must be clear evidence of that epoch in the rock layers. Some scientists associate the beginning of the Anthropocene with the Industrial Revolution, which started in 18th century England and created the world's first fossil fuel-based economy. Others trace the beginning of the Anthropocene to 1945, the year the first atomic bomb was dropped. In 2016, the Anthropocene Working Group adopted the idea that this epoch should be considered to have begun in 1950. Because the years 1950 and beyond mark the period when technological and industrial advancements accelerated the most, leaving the greatest human impact on the planet. Although whether we have entered a new geological epoch is still a topic of debate, scientists now agree that the primary cause of accelerated global warming is human activity, rather than any natural factors. Agriculture, urbanization, deforestation, and pollution have caused extraordinary changes on Earth. Geologists have not yet agreed on whether humans have had a permanent and significant impact on the chemical composition of rocks and fossils. This is exactly what needs to be proven for declaring a new epoch. Humans have existed for such a short time in Earth's history that it is still too early to say whether our impact will appear in the fossil record millions of years from now. The age of humans, also known as the Anthropocene, is a controversial definition. You are on which side here? Are we really in the age of humanity, or are global crises being exaggerated?